YouTubers, welcome back to AZ2 Ozarks. Today's video is about a sick cow. She's right there. So that is 929, who you may recall was our crazy cow. Can you get out of the way, Bull? Go on. You gonna get out of the way? Let me get over there. 929 is losing weight. She's very thin. She doesn't look good, and she has a respiratory issue. She is struggling with breathing, and she's foaming at the mouth. Her tongue is hanging out oftentimes. She's not doing well. I know a lot of people are very strict about they don't want antibiotics, and we don't want antibiotics either. However, this cow is on her way to dying. She's not fighting off this infection. Over the course of the last few months, we've had 3 other cows, heifers, that have had a very similar condition, but it didn't progress this far, and they came out of it and recovered. This girl is not. We are going to try and get her in the corral, and you may recall that all of her issues began when she went into the corral the first time, and she slipped out of the head gate, and then she was gone for a couple weeks and ended up at the neighbor's property, and we chased her all through the forest and all this. Lots of problems. So we're going to try and get her over in that head gate, which she's probably very leery of. So we're making a pathway that will be between the permanent electric fence and the temporary electric fence to get them all over by the corral. And once we get them by the corral, we're going to try and isolate her into the corral, and then also get her into the head chute to give her an antibiotic and see if it helps improve her condition. The way I see it right now is we're going to lose this cow if we don't do something. And I would rather give her an antibiotic than do nothing and let her die. Just as with humans, we try and let our bodies take care of things on their own, but there is a very real need for medical treatment in certain cases. So we're going to try and do this. We have number 929 isolated in the corral, though there are 2 other heifers with her. We're trying to get just her to come through here, and this is where we had problems before, her coming into the head gate. She's obviously nervous about it. Sam, close it. She sounds horrible. Go on, girl. You ready, Keegan? She does not want to get in the head gate. And I do not blame her. Hey. Sam, get out of the way, babe.
Stop. Stop. Make it look bigger. Come on. Shut it. Come on, buddy. No.
Easy, girl. Easy. So we have the vaccine. It's inserted. Antibiotic, sorry.
Easy.
Subcutaneous.
Easy. It's all right, girl.
If she jumps around too much, it can pinch Rick's arm, and that's not a good thing. So he's just trying to pinch a piece of skin and inject under the skin. Did you get it all?
Yeah, hold on to it. Easy, girl. Easy, girl. Okay.
All right,
Okay, now
so
I need you to go take your focus thing, so let's stand out there. And then, Mom, you over here.
okay, are you trying to get her back to back up?
I'm going to try and back her up, but I don't know how it's going to work. Yes, open it up.
Easy, girl. So he's trying to let her back up. There we go. And get her to back into the corral, because we want to keep her separate and evaluate her. Should Sam close the gate?
Yes.
Close it, Sam. Okay. Back into the corral. Go on, girls.
Let him figure it out.
And the one next to her, oh goodness, big old phlegm ball coming out. The one next to her has a lump jaw, and we're bringing her in here to evaluate her. The lump is getting smaller. Rick was going to lance it, but if it's getting smaller, I was thinking that maybe we could just evaluate her for a little bit longer. And so those two we want to keep in here for evaluation. There is a third over there, number 973, who will need to come out. It is the morning after administering the antibiotic to number 929, the heifer that has apparent pneumonia, coming out to check on her. She's still breathing very heavy and sounds like she has phlegm, but her tongue's not lolling out anymore, and she doesn't have drool hanging out of her mouth, which I'm hoping those are signs of improvement. We had thunderstorms last night, so it's really wet in here. We're feeding them hay and alfalfa since they don't have access to the grass, obviously, and there's also an electrolyte mix in their water to help give her vitamins and help hydrate her. So we're just watching and hoping for the best at this point. And we're also keeping an eye on the other one here, G77, who has the lump on her jaw, hoping that that goes down without having to have any intervention on her. So I don't even know if you can see it. It's on this side over here. Hey, girl. With her head down, you can't even see it. There, it's a little bit. But I'm hoping that that resolves on its own. If not, we have her here so that we can easily put her into the chute, and Rick will have to lance it open to drain it. Oof, hope that's not the case. It is now almost 24 hours since we gave the antibiotic to 929, and she is seeming to have better energy. We let her out of the corral, but in a separate area, so she's blocked by electric fence from the other cattle, but she can be out here eating the fresh grass. And she's not sounding quite as wheezy, and she's definitely getting some of her spunk back. So I'm hoping this means she's improving. We're gonna keep an eye on her. It is now almost 2 full days since we administered the antibiotics to number 929, and she's sounding a lot better. We can still hear her labored breathing. However, it's not quite as bad, and she doesn't have all the mucus hanging out, and she's eating. So she seems like she's getting back some of her energy. So I guess that's good news. You can see that her winter coat is kind of shedding off So she looks a little fuzzy right now, but I think she's on the mends. It's the third morning since we gave 929 her antibiotics, and she actually sounds pretty awful this morning. I mean, we've done what we can do, so we're just gonna keep monitoring her. It has been a full week since we gave antibiotics to 929, and there she is laying in the grass, and she seems to be doing a whole lot better. Her breathing doesn't seem as labored. It looks like she's putting weight back on. You can see she's contented, full, and so she's laying down and resting right now. But it seems like this cow, who we thought was going to die a week ago, has made a turnaround. And so I think this is one of those things you have to ask yourself ethically. You know, do you use antibiotics when they're absolutely necessary? And I think the argument is yes. Surely we don't want to go through and use them willy-nilly at the first sign of a cough, but this animal was not doing well, and now she's doing markedly better. So I think just as in humans, antibiotics have their place with our animals. I hope this gives you another perspective on the antibiotic debate. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to keep following our adventure.